Alright everyone, it's time for one of the most anticipated races in this year's Diamond League final in Zurich, Switzerland. It is the men's 200-meter dash, featuring last year's Olympic champion Letsile Teboho versus Noah Lyles from the United States. These two need no introduction. It has been quite the year for Noah over the 200 meters. He started off injured for much of his outdoor season, and then after not racing for close to 2 months, he came back and won a huge 200-meter dash, taking down Teboho in this year's Monaco Diamond League meeting, and he took him down by a 1/10 of a second. Noah's return to form has been pretty crazy this season, as he not only placed second in a Diamond League 100, but he also ran a 1963 in this year's United States Nationals, meaning he is currently ranked number 1 in the world in the 200. Now this race actually holds massive potential for Noah. He's already won 4 individual Diamond League final trophies in the 200 meters, hitting some ridiculously quick marks over the half-lap distance. But if we go back to 2019, he also won a 100-meter race in the Diamond League final, clocking a time of 9.98. An interesting note, he also took down Justin Gatlin in this race, when Gatlin was just exiting the sport and Lyles was just starting to heat up. This means that if Noah takes a victory in this year's Diamond League final, he will have won a total of 6 Diamond League final trophies, which would make him one of the most successful athletes in the history of this prestigious event. So potentially, history is on the line for this American sprinter. Noah is once again on the cusp of sprinting immortality, but Teboho will certainly be in his way, because as the defending Olympic champ, Teboho clearly has the ability to take down almost anyone. And with a personal record of 1946, which stands as an African record, Teboho is a dangerous athlete over the 2-lap distance. Now in yesterday's press conference, Lyles talked about how he wanted to run the fastest 200 in the rain, and if he did want to do that, he would have to run faster than 19.59, which was achieved by Usain Bolt back in 2009, and to this day, that still stands as the fastest 200 in the rain. Thankfully, the conditions are significantly better for today's competition, meaning that times really could be off the charts quick. For this Diamond League final, the anticipation between Noah Lyles and Letsile Teboho competing was palpable. Teboho reported that he was in great fitness, Noah has obviously been building up momentum, and finally, when they two clashed, this race brought forth one of the best 200s of the year. Right out of the blocks, Teboho exploded away, and he had a sizable lead on Noah Lyles, as he crossed through in 10.19, with Noah crossing through the opening 100 in 10.27. Now, this is a sizable lead, as he was already more than a 1/10 of a second ahead of Noah. However, and this is a big however, what do you think happened over the second half? What are your expectations with Noah Lyles racing against Teboho? Well, if you said that he closed, then you would be right. Because with a finishing time of 19.74, Lyles took down Teboho by 0.02 seconds, as Letsile finished in 19.76. This was quite the showdown from last year's Olympic champion in the 100 and last year's Olympic champion in the 200. And if we take a look at this race, graphically, it is just so interesting to see these two racers collide. Now for the speed breakdown, we can see that Teboho got out very quickly, and through 60 meters, he was comfortably in the lead with the fastest top speed. But right around halfway, literally somewhere right at 100 meters, you can see that Lyles and Teboho are crossed here, as the red and green lines literally crossed 3 times. But from 120 on to the finish, Noah was just unbeatable, and this is where he really makes his move. An equally interesting graph can be seen from the distance to the leader to everyone else, and around 10 seconds into this race, Teboho had a full meter on Lyles. But look what happened over the final 10 seconds, and then look what happened over the final 1 second. This is classic Lyles strength versus Teboho's strength. They both clearly have superior endurance compared to everyone else, as you can see that everyone else is getting further and further away. But for Teboho and Lyles, we are starting to see the clash of greats consistently, and come Tokyo, I feel confident that both of these athletes are going to run much faster than 19.7, and I am very curious as to how fast they actually will go, because neither of them have had a perfect build-up. They've both had injuries, they've both been dealing with racing challenges, but now they're starting to hit some serious speeds. Now, behind Noah and Letsile Teboho, the race results weren't that fast. Alexander Ogando ran a 21.4, Robert Gregory, who qualified onto the U.S. team, only ran a 20.2, and nobody else was even close to breaking 20 seconds. So, this tells me that Noah and Letsile are going to be the classes of the field moving into Tokyo, and the ultimate question remains, who will come out on top in this year's World Championships? This victory for Noah Lyles was extremely important because this marks his 5th individual title in the 200 meters for a Diamond League final, and he also managed to win the 100-meter final back in 2019, which means that in total, he has 6 total Diamond League final trophies to his name, making him one of the most successful athletes in track and field history to ever go through the Diamond League circuit. This puts him into extremely rare territory, as only Christian Taylor and Renaud Lavillenie from France have equaled this distinction. What's amazing is this also includes the fact that Noah was not a 100-meter specialist back in 2019, but since that time, he has clearly gotten better at the 100, he's still very good in the 200, and with this momentum, Lyles has continued to prove himself as one of the most consistent athletes in not just 200-meter history, but in track and field history. His accomplishments have only been getting greater and greater as the years have progressed. He's been ranked number 1 in the world many times in the 200 since 2017. He has now reached one of the highest echelons of success in Diamond League history. He's run more sub-20s than anyone else in the history of the half-lap distance. And if he can win this year's World Championships, he will have won not 2, not 3, but 4 consecutive World Championships in the 200-meter dash, as he won the 2019 World Champs, the 2022 World Championships, and the 2023 World Champs in Budapest. And this would again make him one of the greatest athletes to ever grace the track in the 200. Now I would love to hear from all of you. What do you take away from this race? What do you expect from Noah come the World Champs? And do you think he will take the victory against Teboho come the Tokyo World Finals? Thanks for watching, everyone. And as always, until next time. You know, I've been thinking about this, and I think Noah has to be the favorite for the World Champs in the 2. I think he's going to go under 19.5, maybe under 19.3, maybe under 19.4, if the conditions are right. But I don't think he's getting that world record. That thing is just so fast. Also, I think that Teboho will go under 19.5 with the right kind of buildup, but Noah's taking the victory. You heard it here first. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all listening. And yeah, hope you have a good Thursday, good weekend, good stuff.